If you guys like cases, then Cooler Master here at 2024's Computex have quite a few awesome things on display. The first of which is the NR200, that it's now got a different flavor with the Open GPU extension here to accommodate some big, fat, juicy GPUs. In particular, this Strix RTX 4090, which is then featured on their BTF GPU concept case. Now this case here has a detachable top, so you can take the GPU panel off completely, and it's got a custom modular base system that connects the PCI Express to the motherboard itself via an extension connector, and that's also the same for the 12-volt high power connector too. However, both these products are still in the works. They're not officially finished on the designs just yet. Cooler Master is going to tweak them a bit over the next few months and then hopefully get them out in Q4 this year. So basically the pricing remains undisclosed as well. But with that said, let's take a look at some more concept cases that are still in the works. One of which, if you twist the angle right, it goes from working to jorking.
Computex 2024 is brought to you by VIP SCD Keys, where you can get Windows 10 and Windows 11 for an absolute bargain price using the coupon BFTYC. Links in description below.
Welcome back to Tech Yes City. Now, this is an interesting thing. The people who were taking me through this booth here, they were like, oh, you're probably not going to like this case. It's the Masterbox 500. Still in concept phase, still slated to hopefully finish it off. And they also want your feedback as well for all these cases. So if you like something and don't like something, do let us know in the comments section below. But they said with the Masterbox 500, you probably won't like this design. And I had to look at it and I was like, actually, it's my favorite case you guys have here that's coming out that's a new design. And the reason being, it just looks so good from the front. Yeah, sure, we got that cheesy RGB, but you put some good components in this, you put that up for sale on Marketplace, you got yourself an easy flip, in my opinion. So this thing aesthetically is pretty pleasing. I think the input-output as well, the positioning of that down the bottom at a 45-degree angle is also really complete too. Inside, you've got support for that 360mm rad without having to push anything uncomfortably out of the way. And of course, you've got the massive support there for those GPUs. And then down the bottom, you've got a power supply shroud that actually looks unique and not just simply a flat, closed-off, smooth design. However, you'll notice that there's a button right on the bottom right hand of the case, and that's because it's coming from this concept right here, which is the Masterbox 500 Prisma. So with the Prisma, this is the one that I was critiquing. They said, oh, what do you think of this? And I said, yeah, I mean, it looks nice, right? You got this regular fish tank, mid-ATX size tower, except down the bottom here, I didn't know what Cooler Master was going for with this RGB lighting here, where you just press it and it says gaming, change it for working or jerking, depending on which angle you're looking at it, or you can take it to sleeping. And then I said, well, does that have any sort of fan functionality? Like if you're going to sleeping, does it just turn the fans off? If you go to gaming, does it set the fans to max, or does it slow the fans down in the working mode? And they said no, it's just for pretty much if someone's doing something, they can let people know, just like a do not disturb, except the do not disturb sign, you usually hang that outside your room so people don't walk in. So I was kind of a bit confused personally by this concept. I would have liked to have seen more functionality with it, and I actually suggested to them with this case, why not just remove this completely and then just have an open area there where a bracket, you can put the bracket in if you're on a budget, because they're saying that these Masterbox 500 series are going to target the more budget end, and then have that so that bracket can come out, and you can put, say, a 3.5-inch IPS display in, something that you can get off AliExpress for, say, $10 or something like that, and then you can have an awesome display that can actually be doubled down as functionality for your GPU temps, your CPU temps, and things like that. But inside, you've got the same radiator support, 360mm at the top, also ample room for the GPU, as well as what looks like a custom RGB bar inside with the GPU support to be able to support vertical mounting. Now, beside that is also, I just got to grab my tea as well while we move through these cases, because who doesn't like tea while they're looking at brand new concepts of PC cases? But this one right here, this was their Encore 600. Now, they've also got the Encore 600 Prestige beside that. And what I noticed here was they've got the option, sort of like that ambidextrous mouse. If you're into an ambidextrous mouse, then you're going to have a bit of a fun time here because you can choose which way to look at this PC, if that makes any sense. You can take the panels off and then interchange them, as well as interchanging the mounting by flipping it upside down and having the PC face that way. So for instance, if you've got your desk in one corner and you've got a window on the other side and you just got no other way and you want your PC components facing you, you can switch the orientation of the case. Now also, with that said, you can also change the front panel around for glass, and so you can have this open fish tank design, but then we go into the Prestige, and that's going to have the gold accents on it. So I was actually very interested in this design. I thought this was a very high-end, awesome-looking case. But just like the other cases here on display, they are still in concept. So Cooler Master does want your feedback on these. But in terms of the Prestige, I think they're doing a pretty good job. And in terms of pricing and release dates, just like these others, there's no real certain word on it. They hope to get them out in Q4. So next up, we got a monitor that at first I was like, there's nothing really special about this, but when I looked closer, I realized, okay, this has actually got something going on. This is a 57-inch 8K, I don't know if you'd call it 8K exactly, but it's two 4K panels side by side, and it's also mini LED. Now it's got the matte coating, which I think is more, I don't know, appropriate at this sort of build, mainly because this monitor is going to be, I think, used for work rather than gaming. So it's going to have a 120 hertz display, as opposed to, say, Samsung with the native panel. They're going to have a 240 hertz display on this model. But this will essentially have a lower price point of $200 USD, coming in at $2,200, and it'll be slated for a Q3 release. But also the final thing with this monitor is the 1000R curvature is one of the steepest I've ever seen to date on a monitor. Though moving on to something that is coming out with a pretty competitive price, and you got water cooling here in the form of the Master Liquid X-Core series. Now this is going to replace the previous series, and they're going to have kits that you can come sold separately, which is actually a good idea if you don't want to waste any extra money, and you can change them for your own look if you want to. But also, if you don't want that look and you just want to go with the $80 price tag for the 240mm or the $100 price tag for the 360mm, then you're actually going to get a pretty good deal on water cooling. So that's actually slated to come out in the next month, so stay tuned for that. And then also, when we look at cooling, we've also got over here the 612 Ventus air cooler. Now what makes this special is essentially they got a new fan design, and I'm told that they're using some of the quietest fans for the best airflow in the biz, but also it's got a quick launch button there for DDR5 and DDR4 high RAM clearance. So that's really going to make for a decent cooler that's coming in at $70, single tower design with two fans included from the get-go. And now for the final products on display here from Cooler Master is their power supplies. Not just power supplies though, high-end power supplies. And here they've got an 850 watt silent version, no fan at all, platinum, 80 plus platinum, and also on top of that, it comes in an 1100 watt version with a fan, and this is going to come in, I'm told, from around 650 Aussie dollars or 500 USD. So essentially some of the best power supplies you can get on the business in collaboration with Infineon, except most of us guys, I think we'll be going for a much more budget-orientated power supply, especially in this economy. But if you have even more money, then they've got a 3000 watt power supply that's slated to come out. And I'm told this is targeted towards those AI machines that are coming out and need massive power requirements. So Cooler Master is going to deliver a power supply for there. And also if you've got, I guess, a AI light machine, they've got a 2000 watt version coming in at the same price as the 850 watt silent, so 500 USD for the 2000 watt. In terms of the 3000 watt, I actually haven't been given a pricing yet, so I'm not too sure. And with that all aside, I hope you guys enjoyed today's new product look at Cooler Master 2024. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button. Also let us know in the comment section below, especially what did you think of those cases? I thought some of them were pretty cool. Some cool concepts there for sure. But also there's this last product behind us, which I don't know a whole lot about. It's like a 2.1 audio soundbar sort of input-output docking station, which has a KVM switch built in too. So you can change between different setups. If you've got like a PlayStation 5 or a laptop and then a gaming PC, you can change between all three at the flick of a switch. However, it does feel very solid and it does look really expensive. And for me personally, I'm always on a budget, which is why I kind of started off this video with more of the budget solutions, especially those single end cases. Anyhow, guys, with all that aside, I look forward to bringing you guys another tech video very soon for Computex 2024. Stay tuned. And with that aside, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out for now. Bye.